All right, so this is the continuation video. My camera on my phone, on my phone went out. The storage is pretty low, but yeah, I just wanted to get out. That was my last night there. The next day came. I was excited. I get on. No, I go to the. I chilled at Frontier Park the whole day. Something was crazy because there's not much Ubers out there. Like pretty much just like 2 or 3 people who Uber in the whole area. So if they're not online, then there's no service. So I remember the first hour. I was trying to book a trip. Oh shit. I was trying to book a trip. Uber about 2 hours before my trip because I saw nobody was online. It was nobody online, so I was like, dang, I'm gonna have to book early. So I just kept checking the app. I started to walk there just in case, so I'll be there either way. Luckily, because I was like, if 2 hours come, I'm just gonna walk there. 2 hours, when the 2 hour mark came, somebody was online. I booked a trip, and luckily I was able to get there on time. The bus ended up showing up. I did exactly what dude told me. Showed him my old ticket. Told him the bus never came. He was like, and God bless you, man, because you could have just turned me away like anybody else. He could have just turned me away and told me, nah, like you need to buy another ticket or something. He told me it's no problem. We got seats on the bus. There's empty seats on the bus, so it should be no problem. He said, go ahead. He didn't even think about it twice. Like, I was trying to tell him the whole story. He like, just go ahead, man. It's no problem. And like he barely even looked at the ticket. I could have been just, I don't know, but he barely looked at the ticket. He like, just go ahead, get on. He probably knew what was going on. I don't know. And so I get on the bus. Once again, thank you. See, God puts himself in certain people, and I think that was one of them for sure. But he let me on the bus. There was empty seats on the bus, going in the direction that I need to go. So I get on the bus, and now I'm ecstatic at this point. I'm happy as hell, because now I'm leaving. Like I'm on it. The group was there, or I think the group was, well, they said they was who they was. They was there, and I'm finally getting to leave them. So I'm on my way to Denver at this point, because there's a layover in Denver, an hour or two in Denver. And so we on our way to Denver. They talking about somebody got shot and all this, and they just kept coming up with these odd stories. And it's funny because whenever somebody ended up dead in jail or just anything bad, it always came back around to me. It's like, what I had to do with any of that? Like, I didn't have nothing to do. When anybody ended up dead or in jail, they always start to point the finger towards me. Like, I didn't have nothing to do with none of that. Like, I didn't have nothing to do with it. So they all was claiming that somebody had got shot and killed, and they was all trying to say I hit the back of their head and all this. Like, you hit the back of their head and all this, and I'm like, I ain't hit nobody in the back of the head with nothing. Like, I ain't popped nobody with nothing. I was in, when they started telling me that this person died, I was in Cheyenne walking around the city still, trying to avoid the people who was following me. So So yeah, they talking about you hit this person in the back of the head. You came out the shadows and hit him in the head. Like, I ain't do none of that. What they was talking about. So I end up in Denver, and Denver, they saying the same thing. They said supposedly I hit this person in the back of the head. I'm like, I ain't did none of that. But I guess these rats back then or whatnot, and they were saying the same thing. Like, oh, you hit somebody and all this. But I ain't did no hit on nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stop the cap. So that's when I posted my itinerary and where I was at and everything, because they was talking to me about the whole thing, and that's the reason why I had posted my trip. Uh, so I'm walking. Instead of waiting at the station, I wanted to see the city. So I walked around Denver, looking at the city. Nice, quiet town for the most part. Nobody was saying nothing. Everybody was like, you would get probably looks, but nobody was saying nothing. They wasn't like actually like talking. They were just probably looking. That's probably about it. The cars and all that. Yeah, nobody was tripping. Nobody was on that. Like how they were saying on the bus. Like when I was on the bus, oh, he gonna go to the university. We gonna see how fast he can run and all that. But when I was there and I'm walking around, nobody was saying nothing. It was cool. Like it was chill. Like wasn't nobody on that. It was probably, I'd say probably if somebody was on that, it was probably like a couple people that was on it. Like, cause I remember it was this group of like 3 dudes came and they was chilling in front of the Greyhound on the outside, and they was just there standing there, no tickets or nothing. You could tell, no bags or nothing. They was just there just to be there. So I guess they was trying to set something up or something. I don't know. I just walked straight past them and just walked into the city to see what it was like, and it was actually a good city. And now I'm thinking like, damn, I should have came here. I should have just came and seen what it was like. But I doubt at the same time I would have found the same shelter that I had found when I was in Cheyenne, because Cheyenne is where I actually found peace. I had the most rest I had in a while in Cheyenne. All the other states, I couldn't get no sleep. I was feet bleeding all day, walking around, trying to escape people, hopping fences, hopping into apartment buildings and all that when I was in other states. And I didn't have to do none of that when I was in Cheyenne. I was chilling, watching YouTube, studying for the military, and that was it, really, until they came and was trying to kick me out as usual. Either they'll talk to somebody in charge, or what they do is they'll just talk to the people in charge and see who can get you out the area or whatever, and they'll do it like that. If they can't find somebody in charge, they'll disguise themselves as an authority figure to try to get you out anyway. So that's another thing. When I came back to Cheyenne after the dude told me to leave, they called the police on me. The police talked to me, and they ran my license and stuff, and they drove me across the street. No, they didn't drove me. They told me I can go across the street and all that, and yeah, pretty much I know that came from them. So yeah, that's what they do. They use the police to do their dirty work for them too. So that was that. So yeah, I'm in Denver. I'm walking around Denver. It's cool. I walk 30 minutes, 40 minutes back to the Greyhound. They on the same stuff, talking about when I was in the city, nobody was saying nothing like, oh, you hit somebody in the back of the head. But I get back to the Greyhound, here they talking again. Oh, you hit somebody in the back of the head, you killed them and all this. And I ain't kill nobody. I was in Cheyenne chilling. Like, nobody killed nobody. I ain't caught nobody, man. I ain't finna claim no bodies. So I don't gotta fake it. Pretty much, I ain't finna fake for nobody. Like, if I ain't did it, I ain't faking for nobody. I'm just not. I don't care what nobody think. Like, I'm not faking. I don't care. Uh, and that's just that. I don't care. So, uh, so I get back to Denver, get back on the bus. We on our way to Nebraska. Cool little ride to Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, and I get to Nebraska. That shit is like the same thing as like I would compare it to. I would compare it to Las Vegas. I get to Omaha, Nebraska, and they got gangsters there too. You would think it's Nebraska, right? Like everybody was telling me, Nebraska don't have gangs and stuff. Yes, they do. In Omaha, they do. So get to Nebraska. I noticed these everybody staring me down, looking at me and everything and all that. So I'm trying to get my reboarding pass so I can catch the next bus because it's another layover. And so I get my because what they do, because I still have my old ticket. So what they did was instead of they refreshed my ticket, they gave me a fresh ticket as if I ordered that ticket for the day. And they actually gave me a physical ticket instead of it being on my phone. They gave me a physical ticket, so I was more legit. Like when I got on the next bus, because they changed the bus driver. I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah, they changed the bus driver. So from there, I'm there at the bus station. Here go the same shit. Everybody talking, rasping me. People showing up who's not even taking a bus. They just showing up just to show up. They at the bus station. They talking about they about to take my head and all this. So at this point, I'm like, fuck it. If y'all gonna take my head, go ahead, do that shit. I don't give a fuck no more. Like I'm tired of it. Like I'm tired of hearing this shit. Everybody talking about they finna take my head and shit. I'm tired of it. I'm finna let these niggas do that shit. So they talking about they was gonna take my head and shit. So I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. So I sat down at the Greyhound station, pretty much waiting for them to do whatever they was gonna do. I sat there waiting. People was passing by with their hands in their pockets and all that, talking to each other, smoking cigarettes and all that. I'm just sitting there, just like, fuck it, they gonna do it, they gonna do it. And so that was that. I waited there for probably an hour and 30 minutes or something like that, and they just was outside, different people showing up. Dude with he was wearing all blue, showed up with the glasses on and that and all that, and everybody was acting like he was gonna do it, and they had me convinced he was gonna do it too, and so that was that, and eventually I went to the bathroom, came back, sat down some more. They was outside talking to each other, looking at me, talking. I eventually got tired, and I was like, I'm gonna go explore the city. So cause I had hours before before the next bus came. Like literally, like I think it was like 6 hours before the next bus come. So I left and I went walking around the city, and I'm walking around the city. The city is cool. It was really nothing going on around the city. Everybody it was cool. Couple skateboarders. I saw. You could tell they knew me because they'll say certain shit that other people said in the past, in other states and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah. At this point, I'm convinced. Like I'm known. Like at this point, because it didn't matter what state I went to, what city I went to, they all saying the same thing. So I'm like, I'm just known at this point. So I'm walking through the city. I'm doing a circle around the school. I circle the school, and I go around the area, and man, I remember hearing gunshots and shit and all that. And on the other side, because it was a bridge that connect the city, and I was hearing gunshots around the area and all this shit. People scurrying around the area, like I can hear people running around the buildings, or it sounded like people was inside the buildings and stuff like that. And it's just like you hearing all this shit going on. And then the people were saying they was gonna take my hair earlier, and you know what? I was just tired at this point. I ain't give a fuck. I'm just like, nigga finna die, pretty much. I was like, nigga finna die. I was like, I was just tired. So a nigga started crying and shit. Like, tears started coming. I wasn't boo-hoo crying, but tears started coming down my eyes. Like, man, I done been through so much at this point. And these niggas finna come kill me and all this shit. Tears start coming down my eyes. I'm listening to Tupac. I see this couple. They was trying to record me from the apartment buildings down they was trying to record me from the apartment buildings. There was a couple, and I hear them trying to give me some other people was trying to give me words of encouragement and all that, and I just wasn't trying to hear it because I'm hearing the gunshots. I'm hearing the people around me. I'm just like, these people, they just not letting up. I'm tired as hell. I'm tired, and so I got tears rolling down my eyes. I'm listening to Tupac. I'm drinking on a Bang Energy or something like that, so I can stay up just in case. And I'm thinking they finna just come in my shit. So yeah, I finished all that. 11:30 came. I'm 30 minutes from the bus or whatnot, and I'm just like, shit, they ain't did it. So I was just like, I got my shit, and I walked back to the station. On my way back to the station, I'm hearing voices and I'm hearing people talking and all that. So from that point, it's the same shit. I get to the station, here it's the same shit. People who's not even getting on the bus, got no luggage or nothing, just hanging around the station, walking around the station. So what I did was I just watched my surroundings the whole time. Like, I never stood in the same spot. I just walk around from door to door, from side to side, walking around the bus, the whole bus. I'll walk around the whole bus, all that, just to make sure nobody just jumped out at me and start shooting type, like. And because that's what I was thinking. Like, they know I'm about to leave, so they probably just gonna try to jump out and start shooting type. So I'm walking around the bus. I'm just watching my whole surroundings. And yeah, I seen dude. He come peeking around the corner from time to time. He'll look around the corner and then go back to the front of the Greyhound or whatnot. So pretty much, yeah, I did that all the way until it was time for the bus to leave. When it was time for the bus to leave, I let everybody get on the bus before me because I wanted to make sure nobody just run on the bus and just end my shit before the bus take off type and just run off the bus. So I get on the bus last. I couldn't even I couldn't even find a seat pretty much, but it was a seat available because I was booked for that trip. So I get on, and then we off. We take off, and that was my trip to Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. Found out that they got gangs out there too. So we going. I'm on my way to Kansas. And on my way to Kansas, I almost stopped in Iowa. I was gonna stop in Iowa, but Iowa was so cold. When we got there, it was so cold, and the people on the bus was telling me, they said Iowa's green. They were like, you stop here, Iowa's green. They might end you in Iowa. So I don't know if they was telling me that out of scare tactics or it was really true. So I'm just like, okay. They said I got Kansas. They said I can go to Kansas. So I'm just like, instead of taking a chance in Iowa, I'm just gonna go all the way to Kansas. So I stay on the bus because I was gonna get off in Iowa, and I stay on the bus, and we get all the way to Kansas, And it felt like a short ride because when I'm on those buses, that's when I get the most rest. I'm able to rest, chill, think how I want to, everything. Think how I want to. Because even though people was harassing me back then, it's only so many hours they did it. Like, it was only so many hours before everybody on the bus would sleep. Type like we'll all be sleep on that shit. And cause I remember waking up and everybody's head nodding, everybody head to the side, everybody was gone. And So yeah, that was that. So we finally get to Kansas. We get to Kansas. I noticed it was gangster zero when I first got there. A couple people standing around or whatnot. They let me know off the rip what it was. This dude, he did, he was like pretty much showing me that they was holding a mask. He did that, and so I was like, all right. And then I get there, and this girl, she just say out of nowhere, I forget now. She said something to the lines. This is not exactly what she said, but it was to the lines of that Kansas isn't what you think it is. And so now I'm putting the two and two together, the mask and what she just said. And so now I'm just like, oh shit, I need to find where I'm going. So I go to the bathroom, use the bathroom. I come out, some dude, he playing like some hood music, talking about, you know what I'm saying, some hood music. You already know what the deal is with that. Like he was popping this shit. And I leave the bathroom. I go outside the station. I'm like, I'm here. I'm in Kansas now. So first thing I did was I turned on my GPS, and I'm like, cause where they I don't know if they was rasping or they was really telling me, but pretty much they was letting me know where I was at was like the hood part. So what I did was I looked up a better part of the city, and I started to head that way. So I'm walking down the street, not really noticing nothing, cause it's like it's 12, 1 o'clock, and I say it's like 1, 2. It was early in the AM. Nobody's out, pretty much. What I'm trying to say. And there was like certain cars passing by, and I guess certain people were surprised that I was actually there. Like he actually here, like he showed up, and so I remember hearing the whispers and the talks, like he actually here type, and yeah, I'm walking to the other side of town. I'm walking. I get to the gas. I get hungry. The sun is starting to come up and everything, and I go to a liquor store, and this dude telling me they pretty much talking on the same shit, like we gonna light a cigarette and all some shit he said like that, like pretty much like you ain't good here type. That's how I took it, like you ain't good here type. And so I'm like, here we go again, man. I ain't got no more money. I didn't use the last of my money. All I got is money to eat. If I go to the next state, I'm not gonna be able to eat for I don't know how long. Like I don't even know. I ain't gonna be able to eat. So I'm stuck here pretty much. I'm walking to the other side of town. I'm hearing the whispers and the talks and all that, and I'm hearing, I don't know if it was gunshots, fireworks, or something, but I'm hearing the booms around the area, and pretty much people, I guess they was installing that fear in me, like trying to install that fear in me. So once again, I'm thinking the same thing in Omaha. I'm like, I didn't fell into the same shit, and here go the tears again. Start tearing up and shit. Like fuck, I can't escape this shit. So I start tearing up again. Tears rolling down my face, and I'm just thinking like I'm about to die in Kansas type. So I was like, fuck. Like, yeah, that's that. So I was just like, I'm just gonna go as far as they let me. So I'm walking down still to the other side of town. I'm walking through the residentials. I stopped at this elementary or middle school and went behind the building, ate my food there. And while I was eating my food there, I could hear people on the other side whispering and saying something. I couldn't really hear them, but I just thought I was being set up by everybody. So that was that. With see how much, a few more minutes. So then see, and this when I say I was feet bleeding because I got there at early in the AM. The sun is up now, and I'm still walking. You know what I'm saying? Feet bleeding. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. And that's why my feet is all fucked up now. It's because I was doing that type shit. I ain't took my shoes off in about a year and a half now. I've been sleeping every night consistently with shoes on, socks on for a year and a half. A lot of y'all have the luxury to take y'all shoes off, take y'all socks off. I don't have that luxury. So my feet is all fucked up now, changing colors, and I used to have good feet. People used to tell me that I can be a foot model, and now look at them. I used to always get told I had pretty feet because I used to always wear slides. And people used to always tell me I had pretty feet. And now, it's like, now look, shit's the opposite. And, but yeah, so I'm walking all the way to the other side of town. And I made it to the other side of town when I started to see buildings and stuff. And I was actually outside the residentials. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, I can survive this type. Like, I can survive this. And that's when I started to get excited again. And I'm like, I can do this. And so I found this big park, and then I went through the park, and that's when I disappeared into the park. Cause now you see the little cars going slow, like looking for you type. Like I can see them looking around the area, but I'm ducked off in the cut. I see them, they can't see me, and I'm just looking at them, looking for me. And I'm like, damn. I was like, they even here too. What I thought happened was whoever did, I thought they flew there, or I thought they just beat me there because they knew where I was going. And but yeah, I knew the cars was looking for me then, and then I went. It was like this. It was like a canal. I went through the canal, and a lot. If you from Kansas, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I went through the canal, and I went through there. I think it's like a school or something. And I went through the school area. And I remember the people was doing construction on this house. They started rasping, talking, and stuff like that. I'm still just walking through the city, pretty much trying to escape everything. Yeah, so I went from one side of the city to another side. When I saw I couldn't escape from that side, I turned around and went right back from where I came from to the other side. So pretty much I went up, made a left, saw that I wasn't going nowhere that way, came back from the left and made the right and went the other way. And then so I did all that, and yeah, I guess it really was the people of the area, I guess. And everybody was looking for me. I won't say it just felt like that. It was probably a few people, but it felt like everybody at the time, because cars kept popping up, people kept popping up, people kept talking. It don't matter where I was at. They was talking or popping up somewhere. And so that was that. I ended up, I think it was the downtown area. I ended up in the downtown area. And yeah, I was just walking around all that. And I I walked around some more. I found a elementary, which led to a park. When now I'm chilling at the park, and that's when I found my first shelter type. Dang, where did I spend the night? I think I spent the night there. My first night, yeah. Um, I hid. No, I never slept in the canals. People probably think I slept in the canals. I didn't sleep in the canals. I chilled there in the canals for a couple hours, but I never slept there. That's when I disappeared, and I can hear people looking for me. Like, I think he over here, Ty. I think all that. And when I was in the canals, it was a bridge where cars could see me, and you can see them stop, stare, and then go. And I'm like, yeah, they caught me, because then magically now somebody walking through the canal, and I'm like, I already know. So that's when I left the canals and ended up at that park, and then ended up at the school slash I don't know, I think it was just a school right there. It was a park slash school, and ended up right there. I ended up unlocking. I was checking every door, found the unlocked door, went in there, looked around. Turns out there was a chef in there cooking in the cafeteria. So I waited for him to go back in. I went back in, went in there, opened up the window for me to come back later that night, and jump through the window. And that's what I did. The window was still open when I got there. I pulled the screens off and all that shit and jumped in the window. And this is why I knew the person who was after me because you can hear him stumping around the area. Like, I'll be walking, and then you just hear stumps behind you, like doom 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 doom, and then it'll stop, and then doom doom.